Hi, I'm Mike, and I'll be your service technician for this series. Today we'll be going over how to load your ink and labels into your new printer. You start with opening it. So with your printer open, just a quick note, everything green on this printer moves. So you have your guiders, your tension bar, metal guiders to hold your labels in place, gap sensor, second gap sensor, latch, tension knobs. You don't need to touch these knobs until you've successfully calibrated your printer, because if you can't calibrate your printer, then there's no need to touch these dials. Ink take-up core. So let's go ahead and load your labels. There is a ruler on here, so you know where the middle of your label is. You want to go underneath the tension bar, through the metal guiders, and make sure when you bring these through that your label sensor, there's an arrow on it, you want it to be on the gap on the left side of the tag. Go ahead and close your metal guiders, and your labels are loaded. It's time to load the ink. So now we're going to load your ink. So first, start with putting your ink core on. Goes underneath your print head. Go ahead and put your take-up core on. Now the most important part, so you don't get any errors, is make sure that this ink goes through the ink sensor on the bottom, and that is that big long bar. You're ready for calibration. If you followed the steps accordingly, you have successfully loaded your printer. Hi, I'm Mike, and I'll be your service technician for this series. Today I'm going to be showing you how to properly calibrate your printer. First, you start with going to the menu button. So after you hit menu, you'll go sensor, auto calibration. Now these are your three label settings. You have gap, black mark, continuous. Gap is your very generic spacing in between. Black mark, you'll notice a black line on the back side of your liner of your labels. Continuous just means one continuous roll, so vinyl, anything that has no gaps or black marks. So go ahead and click gap, and you'll shoot about 3 to 4 labels out with about an eighth of the last label sticking out. If you followed these steps, you have successfully calibrated your printer. Hi, I'm Mike, and I'll be your service technician for this series. Today I'll be showing you how to properly unload your printer. First, you start with opening your printer. So now that your printer's open, go ahead and release your print head with this clip. Go ahead and take off these guiders. Just roll these back. Go ahead and slide these off. And your ink, you want to go ahead and just slide these off simultaneously. Make sure they don't get snagged by this clamp. And just slide them off. And you have successfully unloaded your printer. If you follow these steps correctly, you have successfully unloaded your printer. Hi, I'm Mike, and I'll be your service technician for this series. Today I'll be showing you proper printer maintenance. First, you start with opening your printer. 3 things you need for proper printer maintenance: microfiber towel, isopropyl alcohol, compressed air. For proper printer maintenance, first thing you want to do is blow out any dust particles or paper particles in the printer. Now you want to take your microfiber towel with the ISO on it, go ahead and go straight across this bluish green bar. This is what your print head is. Give it a couple swipes. Let it dry for 30 seconds. After you finish properly cleaning your print head, you will now move to the platen roller. If you follow these steps, you now know proper printer maintenance.